Welcome back, Lovestylers. I'm Misty. Today we're going to be talking about ketosis. I'm sure you've heard of the word ketosis. It's flying around the universe right now. Everyone's into it. It helps us burn fat and get healthy. It's pretty cool. Thank you for subscribing. With all the distractions out there, I want you to stay on your journey. Put yourself first. Stay off the booze, keep on your sober journey, and keep on your keto journey if that's what you're into, or carnivore. Take care of your family. That's what's important. We can't control much other than that. A lot of people are having some sweets, having some treats. That's understandable, but it might be time to start reeling it in, getting back to what we're going to call the new normal, and start enjoying why we were put on this earth. And here are 10 weird signs that you may be in ketosis. Now, these signs you probably won't hear about from many people in the diet community, in the low carb, high fat community. They talk about, well, a sign you're in ketosis means you're burning fat. Well, that's hard to feel. So ketosis also gets you high. Well, Misty, I thought you were about like natural high now. I am. And that's what this provides for me. So when you're in ketosis, basically your body is burning ketones for fuel instead of sugar. And it's better for all of us if we can burn ketones. It helps us burn fats in a very easy to understand language. Now, you can look up the word ketosis on YouTube, on Google. You have all these scientific explanations. This is not what we're talking about today. We're talking about, how do you just know you're in ketosis? Just by sitting there. You don't have proof, but you get these feelings that happen. Well, I'm going to give you 10 right now. So the first 2 signs that I'm going to talk about, weird signs you're in ketosis, are a little mundane, but they still matter a little bit. So number 1 sign, no farting. Farts are funny. It never gets old. No matter how old you get, they're still funny. But you'll have to put that aside while you're in ketosis, while you're burning fat, because you're on your diet journey and getting yourself into better health. No more farting. Your husband, your wife might thank you, so take that off the list. Your farts go away. Number 2, your breath be stankin'. Yes. I thought this was so weird. When I first started keto, I would ask other people, have you ever experienced, there weren't that many people doing keto at the time, but the couple of people who have been at least on their diet low carb journey, I would say, you ever get a weird taste in your mouth? They say it's an acetone, that your breath is releasing acetone while you're in ketosis, while you're burning fat. It's a good sign. But your breath will smell, and you'll have a weird taste in your mouth sometimes. This is super common. Some people equate it to the keto flu. That's for a different episode. I may not even cover that. Look up the keto flu. It's an adaptation period, basically. But your breath will smell funny sometimes. And this happened to me, and I thought it was strange. I eventually got used to it. You may have to drink a little extra water. That kind of helps. Put a little salt on your tongue here and there. But that is my second weird tip that you know you're in ketosis and burning fat. Tip number 3. You're usually not very hungry. This is counterintuitive, to use a big word of the day. You would think, well, Misty, I'm not eating food. I'm usually in ketosis because I'm doing low carb or I'm intermittent fasting. I'm burning fat. I'm not eating tons of food all the time. I'm taking big breaks. And this is a good technique to take big breaks while you're on your low carb journey. But you're usually not hungry when you're in medium to what I call heavy ketosis. I love heavy ketosis. It may not even be a thing, but I'm going to call it heavy ketosis. I can feel it. I won't be hungry. I can go long periods of time without eating, and it's very, very helpful when you're trying to lose weight. So you may not be hungry. Tip number 4, weird sign that you can feel that you may be in ketosis. You get an inner calmness, a calm, cool, and collected feeling inside. You don't let things bother you as much. You're very loving feeling, very peaceful. It's hard to explain. I would love for you to feel this, and maybe you've been here before. I'm sure if you're in ketosis now or have been in the past, you know about this calmness I'm talking about. Things become easier for you. Your day just kind of glides along, and you start enjoying things a little bit more. Tip number 5 is excess energy. A little bit of hyperactivity. I have found this to be true for myself. I become very energetic in my thoughts. I become very energetic in almost everything I feel. Now, there's the inner calmness, like I was mentioning, but there's also an excitability. There's a love for life where you want to express yourself in loving ways. So on one hand, you have an inner peace. On the other hand, you have this joy you want to express. Maybe they're yin and yang, one and the same, part of the whole love thing, like I'm wearing my love shirt today here at Lovestyle. Excess energy to do things, to accomplish some goals. It might even just be in your head, all of these feelings and thoughts. Excess energy for life. That's my tip number 5. Tip number 6, that you may be in ketosis, a weird sign. Downloads. Downloads. It sounds so robotic, Misty. I'm not a computer. Or are you? Just in a different form? If you believe in receiving downloads from space, from the universe, like I do, you will understand this without any trouble at all, without any explanation. Well, Misty, what are downloads? I don't know what you mean. I never got a download before. Well, if you start on your low-carb journey, you may find you get ideas from nowhere, from somewhere, from another dimension, from another part of yourself that you've never experienced before, your higher self. If you want to get deep, it's getting deep in here. Yeah. Downloads, ideas, in other words, where you don't know where they came from and you don't ever remember having ideas or this many. You know, I used to get so many downloads when I would be fasting. This happens a lot during fasting, intermittent fasting or longer fasts. A lot of people, when they're doing long fasts, like myself, I get into a heavy ketosis. I get so many ideas bombarding my mind that I have to carry a notebook and pen around. Even at work, it's a little strange. I would have to carry a notebook and a pen with me on my lunch break. I wouldn't be eating. Sometimes I'd be fasting, so I would just be writing. It's very strange. It's very empowering. I love it. This is my favorite part about ketosis are the downloads I receive from the universe and all the ideas I come up with. Tip number 7, weird sign you may be in ketosis, is buzzing. This is kind of related to the downloads, but I'm going to put it as its own number. 7 is also part of my numerology. That's for later again, but 7's a cool number. And number 7 is buzzing. Well, Misty, what's buzzing? Like catching a buzz or what? Yeah, catching a buzz. But physically, you will feel sometimes, and this happened to me a lot. Actually, for myself, this is really weird, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I would get a strange feeling in the back of my throat, like a vibration. And if you follow any vibrational work, you will know that that's not that uncommon when you're tapped in to the universe, feeling the hum of this earth. A lot of people do Om when they meditate. It's not that different from that. Buzzing is like a vibration you can feel somewhere in your body. I felt it in the back of my throat. You sometimes feel it in your back. And you can feel this while you're meditating. And the reason I mention that is because it's very similar. If you've ever had a buzzing in your body, this is easy for you to understand. If not, you may want to try to get into ketosis. It may actually help you meditate if you're into that, or if you want to tap in even further. So buzzing in the body somewhere, it could be anywhere in your body. This has to do with the chakras, the 7 chakras. Mine was at the back of my throat, which has to do with communications. And that may be why I'm doing these videos today. I may have had something to say, and being in ketosis was a little bit of a reminder that my throat chakra needed to say something, that I needed to speak out my truth. So here I am. Tip number 8. Weird sign you may be in ketosis. A little bit of lightheadedness, and it's not the kind that I mean when you bend over and you get back up and you're a little dizzy. It's not quite like that. That's the only thing that we kind of know as lightheadedness. This is a very airy, fairy feeling. Almost like you're walking on air. Your body feels lighter. You may be becoming more of a light being, I feel like. And again, this is some deep stuff here, but this is the stuff I actually believe, that you are ascending from where you may have been for a long time, and you actually feel lighter. Let's put aside the fact that you may be lighter because you're burning fat, but you are almost feeling light in the head, feeling light on your feet, feeling like sort of like skippy dippy, happy to be alive kind of thing. Again, it's hard to describe a lot of these things, but I'm trying my best here. Lightheadedness in a very good way, in a very enlightened kind of way, which the word says it all. An enlightened feeling. Tip number 9, weird sign, you're in ketosis. Heightened senses. You become more emotionally aware of so many things. Someone tells you a story, you get a little chill down your spine. You can smell something just a little bit stronger than usual. Your eyesight is clearer. You notice the things around you. You start to notice the flowers and the trees, something you may not have noticed before. Everything just becomes more bright for you. But my favorite part is you actually tap into how other people are feeling. This is good when they're having great feelings and you're having great connections with people. You're more emotionally invested in the moment, more present. It's a nice touch to this whole experience. Tip number 10 of my list of weird things that you will notice, ways that you know you're in ketosis, is, of course, this envelops all of the others, euphoria. It's undeniable. You feel like you can do no wrong. You feel like life is there to support you. You see the beauty in things. You can feel it. It's very strong. I love being in deep ketosis and feeling a euphoric feeling that lasts. And this can happen on long fasts. I want you if you're curious about fasting, to try a longer fast, like a 24-hour fast, do it safely. To feel what this feels like, it is really heavenly. And you notice things you've never noticed before. You feel more joyful than you've ever felt before. This is very spiritual. When you get to number 10, having the euphoric feelings, it's very nice. I sometimes get ringing in my ears that tells me I'm feeling very euphoric. It's like a sign for myself, from the universe to myself. That tells me, Misty, you're on the right path. Keep going. You're doing the right things in your life. You're trying to make good choices. You know, this is all up to you. All of this stuff. Sometimes people find it easier to get their health together, staying in ketosis, getting the downloads, feeling euphoric, walking on air. It's a nice feeling. If you haven't considered trying low carb, it could lead you to ketosis, which I'm talking about today, and it's a very fun experience. So thank you for joining us today at Lovestyle. Thank you for listening to our music and supporting us. We appreciate you. Let us know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to know about our life, about our music, or anything we may have mentioned here, or any questions you may have. I have a lot of information that I would love to share with somebody to help them. And remember to let it go. Try to get in ketosis. Walk on air. Let things roll off your back. Be euphoric. It's a great natural high. No drugs needed here. No drinking necessary. So get into ketosis. You know you're curious if you've never experienced it. You know I'm right about some of this stuff. And we want to thank you for tuning in to Lovestyle. Peace, love,